Well, what we did tonight was unprecedented. We watched a Glenn Danzig film, and then we said, you know what we need to do to save the evening? Watch another Glenn Danzig film.
This movie's so bad, we need to watch a different bad Glenn Danzig film that's slightly better.
We answered the question, is Glenn Danzig better than Rob Zombie at anything? And the answer, surprisingly, is no.
Yeah.
I am Bella Latigo. And that is the last name you're going to hear, gringo.
Oh my God. Ooh.
If he's a vampire, also can he also get out of the way fast? What? Well, wait a minute.
So first we came to just watch one.
Yeah, we put up.
That's what you suckered me in. You're like, Tim, it's only going to be one movie, dude. Don't even worry. And I gave you an earlier time. I gave you an earlier time.
I know. Yes, Tim has a heart out, and it's about 5 minutes from now. But hey, who can't skip a funeral, right? But listen though.
It is only a friend's grandma.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We've waited years, literally years, for the follow-up to Verotika,
yes.
Glenn Danzig's hit film that we've enjoyed.
Who is it? I'm in here. I didn't call maintenance today.
Not covered on Best of the Worst, but we extensively and thoroughly covered it on a Half in the Bag episode.
So finally the day arrived where Death Rider, the vampire legend continues. What is this called?
In the House of Vampires.
Okay, yeah, Death Rider in the House of Vampires came out, finally.
It was in theaters like 2 years ago.
Right.
And then it just, when's it going to come out?
Yeah.
When can we watch it?
So
we're very excited because we love Verotika.
Yes, exactly. So we just went in blindly thinking that Death Rider in the House of Vampires would make for a great spotlight episode based on the pedigree of Glenn Danzig's films, Verotika.
Yes.
Film, Verotika. And we went in and, oh boy. But then we discovered that Rich and Tim have both never seen Verotika. So we said, let's show them a better Glenn Danzig film.
I should have lied.
My face? What do you want with my face?
Well, we should say this won't be a thorough discussion of both of these films because we covered Verotika pretty extensively on Half in the Bag. But for your guys' sake, as a compare and contrast.
And they're welcome to give their thoughts about Verotika.
Oh, sure. They're both horrible. But Verotika is just more interesting.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Don't damage the door. Now be careful.
Be very gentle.
Put your back
No, that's
into
not how
all
it
the
works.
scoring that's in the door already.
And quicker paced.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you shave off. Oh, well, towards the end, you can see the inspiration. Where there's many things.
It's like when you watch Return of the Jedi and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know where the future of Star Wars is going. Yeah.
So it was neat to see like something that's just like, this is the sequel. So it's like, oh, it's got to be a step up. I don't think so.
Move it! Taking me, I ain't done nothing wrong! Shut your mouth and keep walking!
but slower.
Yeah, what is the George Lucas? Faster, more intense?
Faster, louder, more intense.
Yeah, this is the opposite.
Slower, quieter.
Slower, quieter.
Keep them guessing.
I think the most interesting thing about Death Rider is it's made by a man who is known primarily for his music, and he has made a movie that features almost no music.
Yes, yes.
Yes. They're dancing to nothing. That's the death of Death Rider is the lack of music, the lack of proper sound mixing, the lack of ambience. It just kills anything that this movie could potentially have going for it.
I'm curious to dig through the credits, right? Because Glenn Danzig is the credited editor of Death Rider, right?
Yes, he's not the editor of Verotika.
Yes.
And Verotika is so much... It was funny because we watched Death Rider first, and then we watched Verotika, and the opening scene of Verotika is with our hosts, our Crypt Keeper-esque hosts, and she stabs someone's eyes out, and the woman says, "Ow, my eyes." And that scene lasts 2 minutes, and if Danzig had edited it, that scene would have gone on for 15 minutes.
Well, the thing I was trying to get to was that in the bigger picture of movies, you have an editor, you have multiple editors, but then you also have sound mixers and sound Foley artists and final mixers and like probably 40 or 50 people that are involved in the production of editing.
For example, Star Wars needs Ben Burt.
Sure, yes, you need a sound effects editor, you need a, So I think Death Rider was just Glenn Danzig on his iPad on the toilet.
Yeah.
Ironically, he's a musician who's probably, I'm going to guess, probably been in the studio and understands sound mixing, right? This wasn't made by Helen Keller. It was made by a guy
Are you sure?
Who's probably...
Can you confirm this?
I cannot. But it was made by a guy who may or may not have been in a sound studio, who understands mixing and levels and tracks. And then the ultimate irony is he's just a picture guy because the whole movie is visuals and he thinks nothing of sound. I don't know who said the quote, but 80% of a movie is sound, right?
Sure.
I don't know. That's a quote by someone, but it's true. The picture is
Ironically, it's a quote by Glenn Danzig.
the picture's pretty important, but the sound is more important.
Yes,
This movie could really use a second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth, 100th, 2000th pass of audio, mixing, sound levels, especially like the saloon. Is this like a bar, like a
brothel? Yeah.
Because it's really quiet.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
the
like
sound
usually
design.
they have music, like
It's there.
There
but
is
it's
music, but
almost
it's-
like inaudible.
This is like
You need that.
Yeah.
And like tons of bar ambience and drinking sounds. And action.
Why is he so averse to sound?
He must be deaf.
it's almost like it was in the wrong channel.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it was supposed to be on both left and right, but you only got the left, but that was all the rhythm guitar, so you never hear it. It's just like
Yeah, the interesting part from Verotika to this is the quality of the production, the visuals. I mean, there's some kind of crappy lighting, but overall, it's better visually.
Now, by a lot of work in the sound department, do you mean any work in the sound department?
What do you mean you were waiting for me to call you? You were supposed to have this done yesterday.
We released it. There's no sound in it.
Mr. Danzig, I'm going to start work on sound mixing tomorrow. Oh, the Blu-ray's already out.
I thought I heard music.
Didn't you check the copy before?
And that was Ben Bird on the phone. He's like, I'm ready to get going. Oh.
Oh.
Ah, Vampire Cowboys. Yes, that's right. Oh.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Okay. So she's a victim, clearly unaware of Vampire
Yeah,
Cowboys.
all the horrors they brought in are just there to be eaten.
Okay.
That girl doesn't care though. Is she a
Are movies
vampire?
supposed to be entertaining?
Movies?
Yeah.
Movies are not supposed to be entertaining.
Was that Fred Armisen?
That is. That's
What?
I saw his name in the credits.
He just thought it would be funny to
Appearances.
be in a
That's
Glenn
gotta be
Danzig
it.
movie.
He saw Verotika and thought it was funny, and like, sure, I'll be in your movie.
It's not where the blood is.
Yeah.
What are you?
He doesn't want to get any of it on him. But you had a baseless accusation.
Like a baseless speculation that, did he make this for like his deaf nephew?
We're gonna make everybody more sympathetic to the deaf nephew.
Is it a typo? Is it Deaf Rider?
That's a good one.
Joke of the day?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'll take that unless something better comes up. I'll take
It's
that.
like when the deaf nephew's like, I can't hear anything. It's like, neither can we. He's like, see?
Yeah.
What a brilliant film, Mr. Danzig. Uncle Danzig.
You finally made us more sympathetic to the plight of the deaf.
So Death Rider starts at Vasquez Rocks, as all great movies do.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, it's a great location.
It is a great location.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're starting right off with it.
Hey, they're at Vasquez Rocks.
Hey, did they have breast implants in the 1800s?
They were wood. That's why they don't bounce much. There's very little movement.
Breast implants in like shiny pants. That's not era appropriate.
Love it.
Rich and I have been there. Oh. You haven't.
How many times?
Once.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I mean, if we count each of us as a separate incident, twice.
Right. Yeah.
Twice between the two of us.
You remember when they didn't have the porta-john there and you had to go potty? And you went up to the top of...
Did you poop on the rocks?
He did.
That is not what happened
He did.
at all.
He tried to poop. There was a KFC chicken bucket in the garbage can, and he tried to poop in it, but he missed, and it went rolling down the rocks.
Oh my God.
We
And
did.
the dust like lets it gain momentum.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah, it was a shake and bake. By the end, they rolled through the dirt. They
Oh,
were like-
look at this rock. No!
They just turned into like tumbleweeds, and they just kept going. They went all the way to the San Fernando Valley.
Is that where tumbleweeds come from?
Yeah. They get a good start on the Vasquez Rocks. Go plop, 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 plop.
We did, however, really, literally, we spent like 2 hours walking around looking for the filming location of the Kirk and Gorn fight. And then we're about to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And we realized, oh,
It's right there.
it's the parking lot.
Yeah, that's the famous, that big part that shoots
Wide.
up, right?
Yeah.
That's right in the parking lot?
Yeah.
That's where the parking lot. You turn around, and that's where it's at.
But the actual spot where they, were staging the fight is currently the parking lot.
Okay.
I think there was a tree there at one point. Whether or not it was, a prop or actually a tree, and then they paved it over at some point. But that's enough about Vasquez Rocks.
Well, the point is that for Glenn Danzig, that's enough. We have this location, and we have horses. Look.
Hey, well, they brought out some props to the desert.
We'll see the cinematographer, too. Day for night, day for night.
No.
Well, you gotta shoot day for night, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see her shiny ass.
Did she just fall asleep? That's
yeah,
why
why
she
is she-
can't sit
Is it-
up anymore? Or did
he
she
drug
not get
her?
that ass?
Why is she sitting like that?
You see how heavy her fucking breasts are?
That's a step up from Verotika. It's like, now there's on horses. Not just people.
Hey, Verotika had They had eyes.
not on
But Verotika
horses.
had
There was much more nudity in Verotika.
There was. Well, that's what's funny is like the stars.
But not off the bat.
Yeah, we start with our mysterious horse rider, and he has a woman on another horse, and it's just like modern blonde lady with giant fake boobs. And I don't know if she got bored or what, but she's like bending over, and she's like sleeping on the horse half the time.
I think he saw too many, I don't know, spaghetti westerns and just thought like he was making a Clint Eastwood movie where it's just like the man with no names riding on the horse and we just wait. And
you know what those movies have? Great scores.
Yes. You can't do it silently, but...
Well, that's the weirdest thing. He has a confrontation with Danny Trejo. Who's in the movie for 2 seconds. But they have this confrontation, and that's the whole like opening. It's like, oh, this is a mysterious Western man. He's got a topless woman on a horse. What's going on? And then he traps Danny Trejo. Everyone's a vampire in the movie. He ties him to the ground, I guess, to let him die in the daylight. And then we cut to opening credits, which is where you have your awesome theme. This is where the cool music kicks in. But it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, is this supposed to be a joke?
No!
Duke Wayne?
Glenn Danzig
Girl
thinks
on
this
the
is
horse.
clever.
Yeah. Cassidy, Bella Latigo?
Latigo. Like Bill Lugosi, only he's Latino.
This doesn't feel real.
Where's the music? Seriously.
This is so weird.
Seriously.
Yeah, this needs music.
It's like they forgot. They just forgot.
Devon Sawa plays the titular Death Rider.
Yes.
And I think he's wearing the, mask, like the bandit mask in the beginning to hide the fact that he is a vampire. So you're supposed to believe that he is some kind of guy who's out scooping up boobed ladies on horses, bringing them somewhere, and he's confronted by a vampire. And then he outsmarts him, and we reveal he's a vampire when he runs up fast. But then
Yes.
I think I said during the screening, like that's when you heard the mysterious music, and then da-da-da-da-da-da, and then Danny Trejo gets betrayed or attacked by Devon Sawa. And then the sun comes up.
I'm excited. Yeah,
Smiles.
loving it. This is amazing.
Crescendos. Death Rider.
And right before you cut to the credits, that's when you
Hero of the
reveal that
night.
Devon Sawa is a vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't do the run-up thing. You just, yes. As Danny Trejo's burning, the flames light up Devon Sawa's face as he pulls his mask down and goes, and you see his teeth.
Yeah.
He's also a vampire. Bam, bam, bam. It's just simple. But instead, Danny Trejo, we don't see him die. He just screams as his stakes that are tied to him
Oh, he wasn't even fighting
just like-
at it
No.
or trying.
pushed into the
He
sand.
wanted to die.
He could have gotten out.
Yeah.
But then we have 10 more minutes of them walking on the horse. And then the credits just start.
With like weird like wind noises.
Yeah, no thrill, no excitement, no bam, this is the movie, welcome to the movie. It's just, it sucks.
Well, Danny Trejo is the start of, because he's whatever, he's in a lot of cheap crap, but he is a professional actor.
Sure.
And that's the start of the weirdest contrast between these two. Verotika is filled with nothing but porn stars.
I wish to bend you over right here and fuck you in the ass.
As fuck is my specialty.
And it's bad dialogue delivered poorly by porn stars. Death Rider is boring dialogue delivered by professional actors.
And also porn stars.
And also porn
And porn
stars.
stars.
But we got Devon Sawa, the late, great Julian Sands is unfortunately in this film.
Our reputation, if you will, speaks for itself.
Who else shows up in it?
Fred Armisen.
Yeah, Fred Armisen, who doesn't have a line of dialogue.
Well, because it looked like
You barely see him.
No, you barely see him. I think it is just like Glenn Danzig was like, what celebrities can I get? And Fred Armisen probably just thought it would be funny to show up
did
for
it as
a
a
day.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like an exercise in actors' stamina where you need to do something so tedious and boring for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's it.
And it is funny because we watched Verotika afterwards, and there are a few parts where there's the awkward zoom in where the character's just like waiting for Glenn Danzig to yell cut. And that's like half the shots in Death Rider. Every shot of Julian Sands, he's sitting behind his desk and he's doing this.
Oh, God.
And he's just waiting for action or cut.
Ah, my dear Carmela.
The start of the scene is him doing this, and then he looks up and he delivers his dialogue, and then he goes back to doing this.
Oh, foolish writer. I'd say he was as good as dead.
And
Julian Sands has the Cameron Mitchell role in this. He hasn't gotten up from that chair.
What? Was
just
that
wanted-
just a skull?
He just
It's
He just wanted to do something.
What, can I touch one of the props? Yes, Mr. Sands.
Do I have to just sit here like this? Can I do something?
And cut.
Oh my God, I hate this.
I'm gonna do a montage of all the zooms to nothing.
Perfect! Oh my God! After 80 takes.
The thing you did with the head at the end.
You can't write that. You cannot write that shit.
Remember when he touched the skull and then put it back down?
He just wanted to do something.
He's just waiting for cut. It
Yeah.
never happened. He was, I better do something.
The brilliant.
And then the
at
shot
the end
still
of the-
didn't end. He
Yeah.
went back to this. And they still lingered on this for another 20 seconds.
They left the camera on for so long, he had time to think about if he wanted to go on that hike or not. And that's true. Like, it's his fault.
Maybe it's just like, I really got to go on a hike
Yeah,
soon.
yes, yeah. This
should
is so.
really-
I
it's
gotta
like-
get away from the set.
Can I keep this coat?
Can I wear this costume on my hike?
Oh. R.I.P. Julian Sands. Hey, at the very least, this isn't his final movie. Well, should we cover the? I don't even want to say plot, but like what the setup is.
Yeah.
So Devin,
Break it down.
Well, Devin Sawa,
Break it down.
he's wandering. Let's break it down.
Let's break it down.
Let's break it down.
Devin Sawa, he's wandering through the woods with this topless woman. He gets to this
Woods?
bar.
No, he's driving through the
Well, through the desert, whatever.
He's bringing the lady. She's on the horseback.
Yeah, and he shows up at this bar. I guess it's a bar.
It's a vampire sanctuary, is what they call it.
The name of the place is Sanctuary.
Yeah.
But they have like, card tables and
It's like an old West saloon.
prostitutes and he says, I need a room for the night or whatever. I got this prostitute, I got this virgin.
Oh yeah,
Pure
she's
blood.
pure.
Oh yeah, she's pure. She's pure. You can have her. And so that's how he gets into this place. And then nothing really happens for a very long time.
Two vampire women are horny for him.
Two vampire women both want him.
The madam and then the
Madam.
madam's bottom bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom, the blonde
cheeks,
lady. We think she's the
Duck-lip
the
chick face.
eyeball boob
She's
lady.
definitely the boob lady.
Yep.
Yeah, from Verotika.
Spider death.
She's a Dejet.
Dejet.
Dijet.
What do you think?
Dijet. We're pretty sure that's her. We see a shot of Devin Sawa in his bedroom. He pulls out, he looks like he has killing utensils. So I guess we're like, oh, he's like a blade.
Yes.
But then that's not brought up again for another hour because we have to linger on nothing for an hour. And then it turns out Devon Sawa was there to kill all the other vampires, and there's a shootout.
Well, there's a.
Why is he there to kill all the other vampires?
Because that's what the movie's about.
No, okay.
Does he know they have his sister there?
Do you recognize her, Ryder?
Who is she?
Girlfriend.
Husband?
I'm assuming it's his
wife?
wife or
Daughter?
daughter.
Sister.
Is that any way to greet your beloved sister, Ryder?
So we have motive. No, okay.
You heard your sister, Ryder.
Ryder.
Give your sister a big hug.
That's gonna be my new ringtone.
Give your sister a big hug.
He seems surprised when he sees his sister.
I think that was just him not knowing what scene they're shooting. I'm not going to say it's his bad acting. I could
No, Devon
never.
Sawa was a quality actor.
I could never blame any actor, even the bad porn stars. I would blame the direction because I'm sure none of them have any idea what's going on.
Now, when you say you blame the director, you're not talking about Kim Director, the actress that plays one of the women in the film.
I'm talking about Glenn Danzig.
She did a great job.
Yeah, a logical movie because it's called Death Rider in the House of Vampires, right?
Something like
So
that.
he's like a Blade-esque character, a guy who's a vampire but also kills vampires or whatever. And Julian Sands plays Count Dooku. Count Chocula.
Count Pooku.
Something. He's the head vampire who lives in the basement of a brothel. But we need to establish Devon Sawa's character, and we need to understand motivation. You can leave it a mystery for a bit, but only for so long before you need to have connection. So we cut to a flashback.
You're saying what you should do.
Should do.
This
Julian
doesn't happen.
Sands shows up and says, "Oh, I'm here for the town's virgins." No, not my kid's sister. Maybe Devon Sawa was younger. I just want the ladies to be sluts of the night. And he pulls, not my sister. I'll get you someday, mister. Even if it's obvious and fucking cliched and right in front of your face and non-revealing and not a mystery, as long as we know why he's there.
You know what you can do? You can have him not be a vampire, but he's got to try and blend in and pass himself off as a vampire. That gives you some interesting things to do in the middle of the film.
I kind of thought that's maybe what they were going to do.
Yeah, he's got to wait for the Baron to show up. The Baron's going to show up 3 days. He's got to bide his time before he can strike. Something. Give me something.
Yeah, because they had that scene where the madam had a random lady laying on her back.
18 or 19 years old.
Yes, she's fresh blood, vintage, 18, 19 years old. Want a drink from it? He's like, I don't drink right from the neck. I like to have it over here. If he was
What was the point of that?
I don't know, but if he wasn't a vampire, him kind of coming up with excuses or maybe drinking the blood and being like, oh, this is kind of delicious.
What am I liking?
Yeah, he takes out his fake teeth at the end of the night, and he says,
Something.
I know. All those suggestions are kind of comedic.
Yeah.
But you could play them seriously.
That would be, you could, but I mean, even comedic, that would be something more than what we got, which was nothing. We got nothing.
I need this. That's a support animal. Can you register the Enterprise D as a support animal?
Can we talk about
Can we try
Danzig
that?
showing up
Yes,
first,
talk about
or
Danzig.
do we
I'm
talk
sorry.
about what vampires are susceptible to?
Yeah,
stabbing
the
wise?
mythology, the lore. I don't even
yeah.
remember Danzig showing up. I think I left the room.
You were
out of the room, but he showed up later in the film too. He plays Bad Bathory is the character's name.
Bad bathroom?
Bad Bathroom, which Bathory is the woman that likes to bathe in blood, which is also in Verotika. So he's
got a
already
thing.
run out of ideas.
I guess we're gonna have us another time now, huh, kid?
Yep, it sure looks like it, huh? Hell yeah!
Oh my God.
Yeah, why? Hopefully, it's all just explained in the credits. Post-movie explanation.
They explain the plot at the end credits. Yeah.
So you might be confused on what happened there. This.
But Devon Sawa, we're like, okay, is he there to kill all the vampires, right? Yeah. Oh, maybe he is. And then, what's his name? Poopy? Dookie?
Dookie.
Move it, Dookie! God damn it!
Yeah, Dookie. Dookie.
They're like,
There's a character named Dookie.
It's Eli Roth.
Eli Roth, yeah.
Eli Roth comes out and he says,
Dookie.
a ghost ruined my life. No, he says, Dookie.
Right there. That one. Get him. Get your hands off me, you damn varmints!
No, he says, you there. You're a traitor. You don't belong in the house of vampires. And then the camera pans over to Devon Sawa, and then it goes, whoa, and it pans over to Dookie. And then it's like, oh, a switcheroo. We thought he found out Devon Sawa, but really, and then Dookie gets the treatment by the bad guys.
See that there? This here's where we make up silver bullets.
Are you fighting werewolves?
What?
Where they pour liquid.
Silver, which we usually associate with killing werewolves, I guess kills vampires too.
Yeah, it's cooler than an old wooden stake.
Nice.
So they pour liquid silver, molten silver, down his throat, and Dookie burns up. And so that's the example.
Dust.
When you say you've been found out, this guy's been found out by the bad guys. This is how harsh the bad guys treat someone who has betrayed them, thus making you fear for your main character. Mm-hmm. But then, Death Rider just kills everyone. Even the bad guy. There's no scene where Death Rider gets defeated in the third act and is tied up outside. Remember?
This is what I thought was going to happen briefly.
Remember, I'm sorry.
Do you remember, Rich?
Julian Sands punches him.
Pick my nose, Jay.
Julian Sands punches him. We thought, for a second, you and I both had the same thought, that Death Rider wakes up in the desert, and what happened to the Duckmouth girl?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they tie her up because she sleeps with Death Rider after red-haired girl sleeps with.
And all the setups on the way, the guys all crucified out in the sun, is setups.
We're gonna have a payoff to that setup, Mike. We were gonna have a payoff to the setup. He did a thing. He was gonna do a thing.
He did a thing. No. We're gonna find our hero in the same predicament as been set up numerous times. Our hero, Devon Sawa, aka Death Rider, will be strung up on a wooden cross waiting as the sun comes up.
And how is our hero going
to get out of this one? We've seen multiple people fail this challenge and die. What is our hero going to do?
What are these words coming out of your mouth? It's amazing, Rich. It's amazing how you've seen a movie. And I've seen a movie too, and I thought our hero would be in distress in the third act and have to find his way out of this situation and then get revenge.
Oh, they're still in that room.
Yeah.
They're still in that room.
They couldn't. Yeah, there's so many things.
Julian Sands isn't leaving this room.
How many times was he knocked out? How many?
Why do they have to knock him out?
Yeah.
To show how strong he is, that he punched him.
But what does it matter? Who cares?
To show how powerful Julian Sands is. He goes, what did you hit me with, a cannon? He goes, no, just my fist.
They made it seem like it was like a day later and they hit him outside.
I thought they were being a different location.
I thought he was going to wake up.
He was going to be tied up and he's going to have to find a way out of it.
It'd be smart as fuck.
That would have been exciting.
Yeah, it would have been exciting.
Movies aren't meant to be exciting or interesting. You're just meant to suffer through them in dead silence. What kind of stupid logic are you using? Oh.
You just got it on the cloak, though.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, this is so lame.
This is almost unbelievably lame. Like, how could you be this uncreative?
That's such a great quote for the box. Unbelievably lame.
How could you be this uncreative? It's also good.
Oh, what?
What?
Normal fire. Did he make his clothing out of gasoline?
They hadn't invented flame retardant clothing yet.
So you can kill a vampire with just fire.
No, first you gotta marinate them with a steak and a couple silver bullets. Let them talk for a fucking hour.
Right.
And then light them on.
Julian Sands was like, I'm gonna make this quick, and then he just stood there.
I had a momentary problem where I was like, should I set my beer down or just keep drinking it? Why set it down if I'm just going to pick it back up again,
true.
right?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
They're weaker vampires, maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Newer, weaker vampires.
God
It's Glenn Danzig's lore. That's all.
Danzig should, you know what?
It's Glenn Danzig's world, and we're just
Give
suffering
me a
through
call.
it.
Don't call
We're
these.
just gawking at it like we were driving by a horrible car accident.
Do you know the bright spot in the dark desert? Yeah! Go to it. I'll meet you there. Are those his feet? No, the ears of the horse.
Oh.
They almost look like boot tips. How the fuck is that?
Dare I say something controversial? Glenn Danzig knows nothing about how movies are made.
Whoa, dude.
Oh, Tim's leaving. He's walking off the set.
I've seen what Glenn Danzig does to people.
Oh, God. Oh, he punches him out, yeah.
Or he gets punched out.
Oh, he
He gets. That's classic.
I think Rich could beat up Glenn Danzig right at this point.
Sweet. Well, you're punching down.
Oh my! Well, yeah,
'Cause he's short.
And he's pushing it. He's pushing 80.
Is he?
Okay, Rich versus Danzig. You know how those YouTubers, like those clowns, what are their names?
Any of them?
No, the blonde guys.
You talking about the Paul?
Yeah, Logan Paul or
yeah.
which
Oh
one?
yeah, they do their boxing
They
matches.
do boxing.
Yeah.
Rich versus Danzig.
Let's get this going.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Summer 2024. Rich versus Danzig. You can have Len Kabaczynski as your coach in the corner.
Special referee.
Yeah.
Your personal trainer.
You could tag him in and out.
That's how I just start the match then,
And
right?
Danzig,
Yeah, just tag Glenn in.
Danzig will tag in the duck face girl, and she'll slap you with her tits and rub her duck lips on your face, try to smother you.
Did you say rubber duck lips or rubber
Both work.
duck lips?
Both work.
Rubber duck.
Rubber duck lips.
Rubber duck lips.
No, there's that famous.
Is that her wrestling name, Rubber Ducky?
Yeah.
No, there's that famous photo of Glenn Danzig walking out of the grocery store with kitty litter.
Oh yeah.
So he'll tag in his cat, which will be a formidable foe.
Oh my God! My one weakness. I'll be running around the ring.
Len Kabaczynski will be throwing you Claritin. Antihistamines.
Then I'll sneak up behind him and I'll just hit him in the head with a toy Enterprise.
Yeah. Glenn Danzig's one weakness is Star Trek. Your weakness is cats.
I can't handle intellectualism.
Competent stories? What?
What do you mean a scene that can't last more than 12 minutes?
I'm like Phil.
What do you mean you don't see Beverly Crusher's tits?
Oh my God, you're moving the whole table.
Time to get, little lady.
Oh, the pure woman.
Is that the
Oh,
booty?
is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But
Yeah, that's her. Was she a
But no-
plant?
Cat, that's gonna cost you extra.
She's a vampire. Why doesn't he kill her?
She's not a vampire.
That
She's
one's
a vampire.
Oh.
She had teeth.
Wait, because he was here for the count.
He killed everybody else, though. Literally everybody else except that one lady.
what? Why the fuck did you tip your hat to him if you...
Because he pulled off the greatest vampire heists in the history of vampires.
He had such a clever plan of showing up.
After he defeated Count whatever.
Count Dooku.
What happened
No,
next? Was that the
Bathhouse.
end of the movie? I don't even remember.
No, because he
What
stabs-
challenge happened after that?
He
get
grabs Boob Lady.
Be more specific.
He grabs shiny pants Boob Lady from the
From the
beginning,
beginning of the movie, who we haven't seen since the beginning of the movie.
Silk pajama bottoms
Yes.
lady. Okay.
And then they walk past vampire lady who's getting
The
all
only vampire he doesn't kill.
The only
and we
vampire he
don't
doesn't
know
kill
why.
for some reason. We don't know why. And then they going away on a horse. And then we find out shiny pajama pants boob lady is now a vampire herself.
Which doesn't matter because Devon Sawa is already a vampire.
And
Either she was from the beginning as an operative with him, or she became one.
it would have been a nice twist if she were an operative with him and they were working together to do something, and she had a whole other storyline in a different part of the place. You could have made a movie if you wanted to.
If she's just like, you know what, I'm sick of riding around on this horse with no shirt on, and it's like, you using me as bait again? It's like, shut up, this is the last time we'll need you as bait, I swear to God.
They
It's
could have been like
fine, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
They put her in the pen with the other humans they keep, but she's got to figure out which one is the person they're looking for. Maybe they hired to rescue somebody.
Oh.
She's got to find out which one is the governor's daughter or something. You could do something. Once again, you could do literally anything, and it would have been more than we got.
Yeah.
Rich, just Glenn Danzig, whenever you make your next film, just give us a call. I mean, all we want is $50.
It's really wild.
Just sit us down, let us read your script and go, okay, Glenn.
The sound should be like this.
Well, the sound is a separate story, but...
Well, I'll re-edit the sound. I'll re-edit a scene from this movie with new audio.
Wow.
I'm going to edit the scene. I'm going to give myself 20 minutes.
You're offering up your post-production skills.
Yes. I'm gonna give myself 20 minutes to re-edit one section of this movie, and we're going to show it right here.
Do we get to pick which section?
I would say the section where girls are getting killed by Fred Armisen upstairs.
The Fred Armisen cameo,
and fun is happening down in the saloon proper level.
Yeah. Here's the way the scene is in the film.
Yes.
And now here's my re-edit of the scene.
Change.
It's interesting because Verotika, they both have it's like they're offset. If you combine these two, Verotika has decent sound. They have scenes in strip clubs, and there's music.
Yes.
It's not dead silent.
There's no way
You could use my song, Mr. Zig, but
Did you call him Mr. Zig?
Danzig.
This is the opposite in editing, sound design, but better actors.
Yes.
And so it's like if you combine the pros and cons or the strengths and weaknesses of either or and combine them together, they could be something.
A heavy C minus.
Something that might be
A strong C minus.
A strong
yes, you're
C
right.
minus.
something that might be in some way legitimately entertaining.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But Death Rider is whoa.
Flatline.
Madame, we are closing. Would you like another refill?
She just sat down.
See, I feel bad because the reason we're here talking about these two particular movies is because of Glenn Danzig. If these were made by Joe Schmo.
I think
No.
Verotika is very funny. A lot of Verotika is very funny, and if you didn't even know it was made by a rock guy,
Maybe.
you would still laugh at the weird Spider-Man and
Yeah.
Cause of death? Apparent shock and loss of blood.
Nice.
There's plenty of funny stuff in that has nothing to do with the fact that it's made by Glenn Danzig.
It adds a little layer.
It makes
on
it funnier,
that
but
the fact that it's made by someone
right.
sort of
Maybe.
famous.
But Death Rider, we watched that specifically because it is the follow-up to Verotika, and it just was a complete disappointment.
It took all the wrong notes from Verotika.
Yeah.
Well, didn't take any notes at all.
You should really make scenes longer, Danzig.
Somebody giving him bad advice.
And he's like, really? Really? What else?
Was
What
it,
else?
Was
What
it
else?
Rob Zombie?
Oh, yeah.
Rob Zombie's giving him wrong advice.
Oh, yeah. You really should.
I want to
really
add some
bring in-
motivation for the main character. No. Don't
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that.
That scene where you have like ambience and background noise, get rid of all that.
You can't understand what's going on in the movie. You just want to focus, laser focus on what the character is saying and doing. No distractions.
I want to have lots of nudity in this one. No. Just in the very beginning, that's it. But it takes place in a whore house.
You want to
No,
see their
no
tits?
boobs, no
Well,
boobs.
that's okay.
Well,
I was supposed to be home yesterday.
and there's
There's an innocence to Verotika, and now we're past that, and we're like,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
you should mature now. You haven't. You've gotten worse, and now we're done.
the Emperor has no clothes.
Sure.
Post Verotika. When there was less clothes in Verotika, ironically. And there are more clothes in Death Rider, but the Emperor has no clothes anymore, and we're done.
We're done.
Danzig, good night.